glass and iron doors. Inside the monk's house echoes roar.
There are so many fun things about owning and operating your own business. But the reality is there are some hard elements to running a business and some details that aren't always fun to learn about. Now, the principles and ideas you're going to hear in this lesson are super important, especially stuff about market system and capitalism. Why? Because your business is a part of a bigger economic engine. So pay close attention, because if you fall asleep on this stuff, you might be working for the person next to you one day. Now, my favorite part of this video is when Dave talks about how much he loves capitalism. Watch this.
When most people think of economics, they typically just think about money. But economics involves a lot more than just money. It involves buying and selling, trade such as imports and exports, and the general flow of money around the world. And you're involved in global economics every time you spend money buying stuff. So here's a way to think about this topic. Economics is the study of how a society manages all of its resources to produce and distribute goods and services. When it comes to economics, there are some different ways that countries handle the flow of money and the resources. Some countries try to control everything related to money, and others allow the citizens to control their own resources. An economic system is an organized way that a state, nation, or country manages all their production, buying, and selling. It's basically how they handle their stuff and the flow of that stuff from production to distribution. Here's a quick look at 4 different economic systems. I'll tell you right up front that the name of each economic system is a good clue for how that system handles the flow of money and resources. A traditional system is based on, you guessed it, tradition. That just means all of the work that people do, the things they make and sell, and how they use those resources are all based on how they've done it for a long time. In this type of system, if your grandparents made rugs or pottery, then your parents did the same thing and they would expect you to do it too. Traditional economies generally have very little waste, but they also have very little extra or surplus left over. You'll usually find a traditional economic system in rural and underdeveloped locations. In a command system, a large part, if not all of the economy, is controlled or commanded by a central power. This is often the government, and it's what you see in communist or maybe socialist countries. In a command system, the government owns, controls, and regulates all aspects of production, trade, and income created by the most valuable resources. The government also regulates wages and the price of goods and services. Basically, the government commands everything related to money and making money. As an entrepreneur, I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not a big fan of the command system. I'd rather make my own decisions about what I want to do with my life. In a market system, everything takes place within the market. This includes all the places where everything is sold, bought, and traded, including your favorite mall. In the market system, the government doesn't stick its nose into how a company runs its business or manages its own resources. This is also referred to as capitalism, and I love capitalism. See, capitalism means individuals are completely in control of the resources, the production of goods and services, what jobs or training they will pursue, and what they will buy. We get to choose what we want to buy and how much we're willing to spend for stuff. In capitalism, the cost of goods and services is determined by supply and demand. Companies can charge whatever consumers are willing to pay, and that helps keep things in balance. Now, in capitalism, companies get to compete with each other for your business, and that's awesome. Because multiple companies are competing, they're each driven to make better and better products and offer them at lower and better prices. And that's why you see newer, faster, better, cheaper smartphones every year. Competition. Okay, The last of the 4 economic systems I want to cover is the mixed system. This is a mixture of command, market, and traditional economies. This is where the U.S. falls. The United States operates with a capitalistic mindset within a mixed economic system. So people are free to pursue whatever business they want with limited government regulation or interference. This includes what types of goods and services they want to offer to the public and what price they want to charge. And of course, consumers are free to decide what they want to buy and how much they're willing to pay. Then, as we make money and spend money, the government collects taxes to pay for a variety of programs and services, including public education, the Postal Service, the armed forces, and other social services. So, the government benefits from all of us buying and selling stuff in the form of taxes. But they don't dictate how we make money or how we can spend it. So, when it gets right down to it, economic systems are all about freedom and choices. As an entrepreneur, I want to be able to choose what I do for a living. As a business owner, I want to choose what goods or services my company offers. And as a consumer, I want to choose what I want to buy and what I'm willing to pay for it, and who I want to buy it from. We're able to make those choices here in this country, and I think it's one of our greatest freedoms, economic freedom. Other countries don't have that, so don't take it for granted.
Did you catch what Dave said? When people want what you offer, they will pay you for it. You decide what you're going to make or what you're going to offer. Then you choose how much you're going to charge. At this point, you get to see if your customers are willing to pay the price you're asking. So once you get the answers to these questions, you have finished one of the most important steps in launching your business.